It's time now to throw a leg over Harley Davidson's newest spin on their liquid-cooled V-Rod platform, the Night Rod Special. Providing the nighttime rumble is basically the same 1,130cc fuel-injected 60-degree V-twin as the V-Rod. However, Harley says the Night Rod produces 10 more ponies, thanks in part to the new large-volume exhaust. Mounted to that 49mm cartridge fork up front are a fine set of 300mm floating discs and 4-piston calipers, supplied by the folks at Brembo. While out back, you'll find another 300mm disc. Harley claims the Night Rod weighs in at 286 kilograms. That's 629 pounds the old-fashioned way. But how does the Night Rod work as an overall package? Well, that's the question we put to one of Canada's premier custom bike builders, Mr. Bob McKay.
So Bob, after retiring as a long-time Harley dealer, and I know you're a big fan of the air-cooled V-twins, I thought it'd be great to put you on one of these newfangled liquid-cooled, fuel-injected cruisers and get your first impression. So what did you think?
I'm pretty impressed. Actually, it's a second impression, as when I was still a dealer, this bike was introduced, and I wasn't that impressed, to be perfectly truthful. Being an old days rider, it was new technology, and I found it a little bit out of the way for Harley to do something like that.
Yep.
But then I've been away from them for a couple of years. So I was kind of prepared to pick holes in this bike.
Yep.
I can't pick one hole in this bike. There's power everywhere. I think this bike, they tell me, is 120 horsepower. It feels every bit of that.
Yep.
At any gear, 2,500, 3,000 RPM, when you crank it, like, it's amazing what's there. It's got the power to pull luggage and passengers. It's got the brakes to stop it.
Yep.
Harleys are heavy, they need brakes. The suspension is firm, but I think the bike is designed for aggressive riding, so it has to have aggressive suspension. You feel a little bit of the small bumps, but if you hit a big one, if you hit a big patch, they absorb it. They do what they're supposed to do. The only fault that I could really come up with, if anything, on this exact bike is rider position, but it's not a touring bike.
No.
It's a
Boulevard cruiser.
It's a down and dirty hot rod show off attitude bike, and
Yep.
when you're in that stance sitting on this bike, that's the right thing for this bike. I've had the bike for 4 days. We've been in cold weather, rainy weather, and nice weather like today.
Yeah.
But on a long haul, maybe there might be issues with it, but I'm a big enough guy, and it's a big saddle. Seat's excellent. I find the seat to be perfect. Hydraulic clutch, it's easy to pull, it's very sensitive. It comes on when it should come on, nicer than a cable.
Right. How did you find the cockpit layout? This instrument pod is pretty cool, but just in terms of getting to the switch gear and the mirrors and the instrument pod, how did you like that?
This is easy for me because this is Harley Davidson for years. It's the same switch boxes that go on any other models. This is nice. It's condensed. When this was first introduced, again, there was a speedo, there was an odometer and a trip, but now there's a clock even on there. So they've made improvements in there, although it physically looks the same. They did bring it up to maybe a little bit of higher tech than what they brought out first.
Right. Now, you're all about customization, you're all about chrome and paint. What do you think of the fit and finish, the chrome, the detailing?
This one isn't about chrome, that's for sure, but black is Harley Davidson. Black has always been, and they branch out and they have other colors, but a black Harley is still cool, and they've done a lot of black detailing on here.
One quick connection I make with Harley is loud V-twins.
Yeah.
How did you find the exhaust system? Was it too quiet for you?
This bike seems to have a little more audible exhaust note than the previous ones. I don't know what they did in there,
Yeah.
but I do know that there's going to be louder ones available, but it's not all about loud. Like, the pipes are designed in a way to get the most horsepower out of that engine.
Sure.
And sometimes louder doesn't help, it just makes more noise. I can't think there's anything I really didn't like about the bike. A little heavy on the handling, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm used to riding heavy motorcycles that handle heavy. When you're riding a heavy bike and it feels heavy, yeah, you feel strong riding it. I don't know. It's an attitude thing again.
What is the one thing you like the most? What surprised you this time around?
Horsepower and torque, without a doubt. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with that. And the tire's wide enough on the back that when you do wind it up, the tire doesn't want to break loose. There's a lot of rubber on the road. The visual appearance of a motorcycle is so important. This has got the look, and when you put with that the horsepower and the torque, I can't pick a hole in it. Like I say, I was hoping I could find some problems, but I just didn't find anything. I really enjoy the bike. I have a number of Harleys, but I think maybe I should buy one of these too.
Ooh, coming from you,
and
that's a compliment.
Hey, I would have never thought I would have said it, but it's, I think one of these in my garage would be pretty sweet, really.
Well, Bob, thank you very much for doing this today.
Certainly.
Coming from you, that's a great compliment. This is a great bike.
Anytime, as long as they're fast.